Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Cold Steel 3, and yes, the party is still going strong in the other room, but we've got invited, which I think is the Emperor, so it's gonna be a very, well, interesting conversation.
Okay.
And I hope that Rean is not gonna be too nervous to take that call. And who knows, maybe afterwards we get the chance to talk to Osborne as well. I would not mind that. Greetings. His Majesty is waiting. Please enter.
Sir Rean Schwarzer has arrived.
Very good. See him in.
I apologize for calling you here like this, Instructor Schwarzer.
No, it's an honor to have an audience with the Emperor.
Your dances with your sister and Alphen were a sight to behold. Your skills as a lead were just as impressive as the rumors suggested. I'm sure my daughter was very happy.
Well...
I'm only joking. You've helped out Oliver numerous times. You've rescued Alphen twice, and you saved Cedric's life at the end of the Civil War. My entire family is grateful for everything you and the rest of Class 7 has done. As the Awakener of the Ashen Knight, the very same one my ancestor once piloted, you have saved many lives and averted many crises.
So you knew the truth about Emperor Dreikels?
Yes, indeed. As well as the relationship between the Chancellor and yourself.
You know that, too?
Yes, I figured it out somewhere along the way. When I asked, the Chancellor didn't deny it, so I took that to mean my suspicions were correct. He and I have much in common. Both of us have lost loved ones to the foolish schemes of others.
I've heard about the Chancellor, but Your Highness?
Yeah, he's probably talking about Oliver's mother.
It happened long ago. Have you perhaps heard anything regarding Oliver's birth mother?
We actually just did during this party.
I may have heard a rumor once. Apparently she was a commoner, but she passed away tragically.
Well, the two of us enrolled at Thors in the same year. She was a commoner, but her intelligence, grace and bright smile were anything but common. We'd fight at times, but eventually we fell in love. Though both of us were young, we became involved with each other. She ended up dropping out of school and returning to her hometown. Then, some time later, I found out she had given birth to a boy. That boy was Oliver. I was still Crown Prince at the time, and I wanted to make her my Empress, but she refused. I was at least able to send one of the vendors to guard her. My father and the Lord of the Four Great Houses had been pestering me to get married for years, but I held out hope she'd changed her mind. However, when my father fell ill, a group of Jaegers seeking favor with one of the Four Great Houses attacked her and Oliver. The eldest son of the vendor family managed to save Oliver, but she lost her life. Mueller. My father passed on. I had lost her. I welcomed Oliver as the one ray of light left in my life and officially announced he was my son. My father passed on. Alright. Shortly thereafter, I married to ensure this tragedy would not repeat itself. She was the daughter of a small noble family working as a maid. Priscilla accepted my courtship despite knowing that my heart still belonged to my first love. Oliver seemed intent on walling himself off from everyone in the palace, but Priscilla was able to get him to open up. He finally accepted me as his father, and when the twins were born, he was just as happy as the rest of us, if not more so. And so, that is the messy history of the current imperial family.
I had no idea. but are you sure it's all right to tell me all this?
It's no great secret. Most of the larger noble families already know. But my point is this. Both the Chancellor and I lost loved ones. But our sons yet live. Certainly a unique point of commonality, wouldn't you say?
That's true.
Well, that when you think about it, that does make the kinship with Olivert that more much pronounced, isn't it?
Is that why you appointed him as Imperial Chancellor?
It's true that I felt an affinity with him. However, the most important factor was his negotiation of the ceasefire with Liberl. The events of Hamel wounded my heart deeply. But I knew I could not allow them to be made public. He managed to get both the Four Great Houses and Liberl to concede to his terms and put the 100 Days' War to an end. And so rose the first common-born Imperial Chancellor.
Now I understand. But in the 13 years since he became Chancellor, a lot has changed. The nobles have lost power, while he's only gotten stronger. And he's using that power to steer Erebonia in a dangerous direction.
Yeah, and we still don't really know the reason why he's doing that. Other than selfless ambition?
With all due respect, I don't think it's right to sit back and let him continue.
I understand your concern. Olivert's as well. Olivert is more concerned for his brother and sister's futures than anyone. In that respect, he sees the Chancellor as a bigger threat than the nobles do. However, things are not so simple.
Are we finally getting to know the reason for his actions?
Regarding myself and the Chancellor, tragedies like Hamel, at times, this nation will make the most tragically foolish decisions. During the War of the Lions, the brothers of the royal family spilled each other's blood and pulled the nation into their feud. The history of Erebonia is smeared with blood and alight with flames, more than any other country.
He's right. Deception is an important tool in politics and war, but the thought of killing your own people as an excuse to invade another country...
As a teacher of history, I'm sure you have your own thoughts on this matter. So tell me, do you know the people of Erebonia to have a cruel temperament?
No. The people of Erebonia are sincere and value honor and pride. They think highly of martial skill, but know it is a virtue to use it only when absolutely necessary. The incidents you spoke of, it's almost as though a devil had been whispering in their ear.
Precisely. There is something in Erebonia. Something which bends people's minds and steers them toward chaos.
Is that the Black Workshop, the gnomes, and maybe even Ouroboros?
Perhaps it could be called a curse. One that has been with us since the founding of this nation. If you've read the Black Records, you may have some idea what I speak of.
The Black Records?
It would seem the Church is seeking them out. But the original writings are in the Imperial family's possession. Only those who succeed the throne are permitted to read them. They are records of the truth of this nation's history, and a prophecy of its future. An inevitable future, no doubt. I'm certain any attempts to avoid it will only cause things to become further warped and twisted. That is one of the reasons I am not putting a stop to the Chancellor's actions.
Sure, I don't know all the details, but both the Chancellor and His Highness understand the situation fully. Yet they...
And so, I plan to not avert my eyes and watch to the end.
Huh?
As the ruler of Erebonia, the Empire mired in darkness and founded under a curse, I shall watch my sons, the Crimson Wings, the new light of the nobility, and Class 7, both old and new, to see if any of them can overcome the iron will of the Chancellor and light the way to a new path for this nation.
I promise to give everything I have to find this new path. Not just as a member of Class 7, but on behalf of Thors Military Academy and all its students and graduates.
You're aware that would include both myself and the Chancellor, yes? But all the same, well said.
Welcome back. I'm not sure what you two spoke about, but I trust it was well worth the time.
Oh, it was definitely worth the time, because now we know where he stands. And that's more important than you realize.
Yes, most definitely.
Precisely. There is something in Erebonia. Something which bends people's minds and steers them toward chaos.
Rean.
It's nothing. Major, can I ask you something?
Finished with your chat?
Your Excellency.
It would appear you want no need to speak with me about something.
Oh, he definitely needs to. And I hope he gets that.
I can't take too much time out of my schedule, but I have a room prepared. Shall we?
Yes, let's go.
Because Rean needs this, even if he doesn't know it yet. Just to make things clear on both sides of the table.
Where are you headed, Ash?
I gotta take a piss. Wanna join me?
I think I'll pass. But let me say this. Don't so much as think about sneaking out.
Huh?
I admit it's a bit nerve-wracking, but this truly is a special event. We should all enjoy it together as Class 7.
Who would have guessed the pretty boy was just as big of a nag as that wild filly? Maybe somewhere along the line, I'll let those guys get to me.
Oh, is something the matter, sir?
Oh, yeah, I was just on my way back from the bathroom, but I noticed something strange.
Something strange, sir?
Yeah, it's just around the corner here.
I believe this will be the first time we've been able to speak one-on-one like this. Since, of course, that day 14 years ago.
His Majesty told me. General Craig, too.
So I've heard. His Majesty knows the truth of my circumstances. More or less. Craig and Van Dyke, on the other hand, only know the facts that float on the surface. They remain in the dark as to what truly happened to Brigadier General Gileath Osborne.
Then will you tell me? What happened 14 years ago? Why did you leave me? Why did you leave your son? Why did you become a completely different person? You trampled over everything in your way, robbed the people of their pride and independence, and planted the seeds of the Civil War. After what you did to Jirai, you annexed Crossbell and North Ambria, and now you're planning a war with Calvard. At the same time, you're working with a black workshop and trying to bring all the darkest parts of the world toward the surface. What are you... No. Why are you doing this?
That is the question, isn't it? What is the reason for all of this? There has to be something. And I hope it's something more noble than just seeking power for no reason.
It sounds as though you've figured a great many things out on your own. First, allow me to commend you for not being consumed by your false hero's title. Very well. I shall start with your first question. After I lost Kasha, I left you in Ymir, and 3 months later His Majesty bid me investigate the Hamel incident. Afterward, I went to negotiate with the Queen of Liberl. The Queen agonized over the decision, but I knew she wanted peace as soon as possible. Eventually, she agreed to the terms of the ceasefire. The noble officers behind everything, led by Lecter's father, were given the death penalty, and the 4 great houses were put in check, all in a single month. In recognition of my accomplishment, His Majesty appointed me Chancellor. I'm grateful to Teo. He accepted my request not to reveal anything to you, but at the same time, it meant I had to sever my ties to both you and him. As a revolutionary, taking on the 4 great houses, I needed to be on my own. I couldn't have anything holding me back.
So her name was Kasha, the woman who gave birth to me.
Once I became Chancellor, I crushed those who opposed me, expanded our railway network, and garnered even more power. Behind the scenes, I also made deals with Ouroboros and joined forces with the Black Workshop. After the incident in Liberl, I cut ties with the Snakes and robbed them of the Black Workshop's loyalty. Then, 2 years ago, I used Rufus to fell the Noble Alliance from within. And ultimately, I stole Ouroboros' phantasmal blaze plan right out from under them.
What even is the Phantasmal Blaze plan? And what are you planning to do with it?
By this point, it's safe to say Ouroboros' goal is no different from their gospel plan in Liberl. The acquisition of Adios' treasures, the Septarian. In Crossbell, they used the false phantasm to awaken the blaze in Erebonia. But the prize they seek is more than simply that blaze. This dark land once housed 2 treasures. The clash between the 2 of them resulted in the creation of the Great One. All the people, things, and history of Erebonia are inexorably entangled in its blessings and its curse. I'm sure you've been able to deduce that much from certain historical documents you've been reading.
What are you?
Pardon me, Your Excellency. The Emperor is calling for you.
Understood. That shall be all, for now.
Wait! We're not done yet! There's so much more I need to ask! How did you survive being shot through the heart? Are you the same as the Jaeger King, the Steel Maiden, and Siegfried? Or does it have something to do with the scar on my chest and this power I have?
14 years ago, when we were attacked, your heart was punctured by debris. Kasha, your mother, she begged me to save you. So, I made the decision to give my heart to my son.
His heart is beating in Rean.
That is the reason Crow Armbrush shot to my chest did not find its mark. I'll leave the rest for you to figure out. It's the same riddle I've given to the Ironbloods. Major, escort him back to the venue. Our gallant hero seems a bit disoriented at the moment.
Well, it's something to get told that the heart you have is not your own. But what about him? Doesn't he have a heart? Or is it something else? An alternative?
A resin gun that fires gunpowder bullets? Can't be found by metal detectors. Everything falling into place like this is way too convenient. I don't like it. Well, I guess beggars can't be choosers.
Oh, is he gonna try to assassinate Osborn on the Emperor? Oh, I hope not, because that would be a terrible idea.
I know His Excellency isn't a normal person, but I believe somewhere deep down he still cares for you.
Huh?
Myself, Lecter, Milliam, likely even Rufus as well. His Excellency has personally lent his help to each of us. It's possible he thought of us as a replacement for you.
Thank you. I'll try to sort through all this, somehow.
Rean! Instructor Rean!
I heard His Majesty called you in to speak with him?
Chancellor Osborn as well.
You spoke with both of them?
You're looking a little bit green around the gills there.
She's right. What happened?
I can't talk about it just yet. All I can say is that nothing is over yet. And something's about to begin. Once this party's over, can we all get together and talk?
Yes, of course. I think I can better explain what's going on behind the scenes now.
If time permits, I'll tell you all about my circumstances too.
Please, Gaius, definitely you.
We can come too, right?
Yeah, we're all on the same boat at this point.
You too, Joa. Of course. I'll be there.
Where's Ash?
Huh? I don't see him anywhere nearby. Wasn't he talking with you earlier, Kurt?
Yes, he said he needed to use the restroom. Though that was some time ago.
Is it happening?
Lecter! Claire!
So that's how the Orphan of Hommel's gonna be used, huh? Claire! Milliam! With me!
Yeah, but who is it? He's definitely trying to kill someone, but is it the Emperor or is it Osborn?
Let's follow them.
Because it would be Osborn for trying to put it under the rock and the Emperor for not doing anything.
Where is everyone headed?
Could be even both.
Did something happen? Please wait here. I'll go ask.
He certainly doesn't change.
Ah, but that's what makes him... him. He's a warrior with an iron will, ready to put his life on the line. It's comforting to know such a person is our leader.
Well, well. It would appear you're already fitting in as a member of the group.
Earlier.
I plan to make this announcement during the summer festival.
I can't imagine it will be easy. But knowing you, you're already well prepared.
You're too kind.
Pardon the intrusion.
You are...
Ash Carbide of Thors Branch Campus, Class 7. The third survivor of Hommel. What have you come here for?
Hommel. So it comes back to that yet again.
My left eye's aching real bad. Been that way since I was a kid. That scene is burned into it. Even years later, when I was taking care of my mom, I kept hearing the voice. Kill the Vile One. Kill the Vile One. The Jaegers that attacked the town were slaughtered. You executed all the masterminds. Hommel's name was wiped off the map. You're the one who let this happen, Emperor. Maybe the Queen of Liberl is just as guilty for keeping quiet. Or maybe the other two, for running away and leaving me for dead. Or even that Scarecrow guy, the son of the mastermind. Hey, tell me. Who do I gotta kill to get rid of all this pain?
No one's life will get rid of that. Until he confronts it, I guess. What's going on? I'm intrigued, but I don't want the Emperor to get shot by him. Osborne, one thing, he's been shot already, so he can take a hit, but the Emperor, really...
The curse.
Yes. This is the sacrifice from the prophecy. It is only fitting it be me. But don't aim for my heart. That won't do you any good. Aim here. It would be your best chance of killing me. If there is any chance at all.
Ash, was it? It won't work on him. He's no human. I have my doubts he's even capable of dying.
Your Majesty.
I don't want this young man's actions to be wasted. Ash, I am the one responsible for Hommel. Let your years of suffering end with me.
Why the hell would you...
I actually did it. The bastard.
What?
Huh?
Damn it! He needs medical attention!
Father! The princess! Be strong, Your Highness.
Get the medics! He's lost too much blood! Be careful moving him!
Is he the one responsible?
Yes. Unfortunately.
I thought we'd captured all the Calvardian agents. Is there a chance he was one of them?
A Vern Company gun made with resin parts. It would not have been found by a metal detector. Unfortunately. I cannot deny the possibility.
Damn, that's a sudden end. And yet again, another what the fuck ending. Definitely. but it seemed that it was prophesied. I really need to read the Black Records once again, and I really am thinking of just reading all the chapters, because I think we have every bit of it now. So maybe I would dedicate an episode of just reading the entire thing. That way I have it on record of reading the entire thing, and anybody that is interested can read it as well. Maybe. But for now. But what will happen to Ash? Clearly he was possessed by something to do that. Is it that curse they are talking about? A prophecy coming? And one of them needed to be sacrificed, and the Emperor rather it would be him than Osborn. And Osborn not being human. Is Osborn an homunculus? Like Milliam and Altina? Like created instead of being born? So many questions. so many unanswered questions. But then again, we still have an entire game left after this, and still an entire chapter. Still so much to unravel. But yeah. Shall we proceed? We still have a little bit of time. of 7th month on Tuesday, the day after the incident.
This is your morning report on ongoing events. As of last night, the Imperial government has declared martial law by order of Crown Prince Cedric. A military command center has been established, and Governor General Rufus has been appointed as its interim representative. Further, as of this morning, railway access has been severely restricted, not only in Heimdall, but throughout all of Erebonia.
Extra, read all about it. His Majesty has been shot by a military student with an unknown background. Is this sabotage from a foreign country? Was it one of those Thor students? A foreign country, it could only be. Patsy, a reason to start the war. That's what this is, isn't it?
We are currently using every resource at our disposal to determine the suspect's background. We will share this information with all of you the moment we are certain, so I ask that you wait for now, and above all, stay strong. I understand your anger, your sorrow, and your fear, and feel them just as keenly, if not more. And so I pledge to you, we will uncover the truth of this incident.
The Emperor was loved, that's for sure. A loss that will be felt by everyone in the Empire.
This is the morning news broadcast for Trista. We're told the Emperor's current status is still critical. At this point, it's hard to determine whether or not he'll be able to recover. We now have a message from Prince Olivert to share with you.
The Emperor has yet to regain consciousness. We cannot yet let our guards down. Do not become lost in rumors and hearsay. Remain steadfast and support one another through this dark time. Have faith that the light of hope will yet show itself and illuminate the path ahead.
Such a sad ending for a summer festival. How awful. I hear the Empress and Princess Alvin are still unconscious. Oh, Aidios, please guide us. Everything's being blocked off, isn't it? Ready for any potential retaliation. Or preemptive strike, how you want to call it. Even the exercise camps are locked off.
I never thought Ash would... We had our differences at first, but he wasn't a bad person. After everything we overcame together, we grew to understand each other. And I know now, there is absolutely no way he's the kind of person who would commit such an atrocity.
I agree. He was definitely a troublemaking punk. But he wasn't selfish or irresponsible. And despite his lone wolf tough guy act, he'd always help us when we needed him. But looking back, something may have been a little off about him.
It was quite the surprise to hear he was from Hamel. Tita, you knew someone else who was born there, right?
Yeah, I didn't know there was another survivor. He's in Liberl right now. I'd like to contact him if possible.
Unfortunately, we can't use the communication network, and we're not allowed to board Panzer Soldats. To be honest, I'm beginning to worry about Altina, too.
Yeah. Maybe we should have stopped her from going.
Where did Altina go?
Rean?
Never thought that kid could have done something like that.
It's my fault. Even though he seemed like he was tough, I always knew he was a bit unstable too. I should have done something about it after our trip to Hamel. But I kept getting sidetracked by other problems. I failed him as his instructor.
That's not true, Rean. This is my first time being an instructor, and I'm still a total half-ass. Toh is new here too. Can't just expect to be perfect at it after only a few months.
That's right, Rean. I think the important thing is what you do next. Altina's already hard at work, right?
Well...
2 hours prior.
I received a message through the emergency channel. We've been called to gather. I must report to Intelligence Division HQ.
But...
Did we lose her too? What about Class 7?
Are you going to be okay? Right now, things are...
There is no need to worry. I'm sure Milliam and Major Arundel will be there as well. However, I'm more worried about Ash.
Well...
What he did was so out of the blue. There must be something going on behind the scenes.
And that black haze... I bet it had something to do with it!
That's the only conclusion I can come to.
It's possible he was being controlled by some manner of chemical or hypnosis. It is also fairly likely something of a magical nature was involved as well. Therefore, I will attempt to gain as much information as possible. I refuse to leave a fellow member of Class 7 behind.
Allie...
You've grown a lot.
I agree. She's become very dependable.
Even if you've been summoned, don't forget, you're still a student of Thors. If they try to limit your actions, let us know through the emergency comm network. I'll come get you, even if I need to use Valimar to do it.
Instructor Rean.
Yeah, us too. We'll definitely come help you.
No matter what.
Please be careful.
Thank you, everyone. I will do my best not to cause you trouble.
You're right. I can't afford to fall behind the students. The principal and all the others are doing everything they can. Well, seemed like the principal went to the authorities and Michael went to the RMP headquarters. Well, I hope they've made some progress. Oh? Rean, could it be... Yeah, it's someone from the old Class 7. Oh, Milliam.
Rean, is Tilly there?
No, she got an urgent call from the intelligence division 2 hours ago. You didn't?
Nope, not me. Lecter's busy with something too. So that means I'm too late.
Too late? And what's going on?
Oh no, it's nothing.
No. You can't say that and then say it's nothing.
I'll take care of it, so don't worry.
Milliam, hey. Altina. Milliam, so she can't get a hold of Altina either. Well, I thought the prince's little trick let us connect anywhere. Yeah, but it's not working. It seems I've kept you waiting. Ah. My apologies for being late. Principal, Major Michael. Well, any news? Carbide's still in a coma and is in the custody of the Railway Military Police. Regarding the utter nonsense about him being a spy for the Republic, I've requested the authorities to rescind their statement, but they're refusing. Yeah, because they're gonna use this, if necessary, to have a reason to start that war. I'm sure of it. No. Although there's no question a crime was committed, we must ascertain his motive, background and any abnormal symptoms. If by chance he was being controlled, we must determine the true culprit. I guarantee his safety until all the details are known. Major. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. I don't need your gratitude. He was one of my students too. Anyway. Aside from Carbide, it seems things are becoming even more dire. I need you to gather all the students in Car 3. The government will make an important announcement and we've been instructed to listen to it. The message from Osborne, the one he said he was gonna make at the end of the summer festival. This brings me back right to before the Civil War began. Ah yeah, when the Blood and Iron Chancellor was shot.
We cannot, we must not, and we will not. With blood and with iron, we shall mete out justice. Well played, Armbrust.
What's the security like this time? Well, all buildings within a 3000 arch radius are on full alert. There are security airships patrolling the area too.
Dearest people of Heimdall, and all citizens of Erebonia, I am Cedric Ryce Arnor, son of Emperor Ugent. The Emperor yet remains in critical condition. Needless to say, we have the most skilled doctors available to attend to him. But the situation is still dire. We would greatly appreciate if everyone would pray for Adios to see him through this. However, this incident demonstrates without a shadow of a doubt the scope of the threat looming over our nation, and the identity of the foreign power that orchestrated this tragedy. In my father's stead, as Crown Prince, I hereby entrust the fate of our nation to a man I'm sure you may all be familiar with, Chancellor Gileath Osborne.
There it is. Head of the country.
Alongside him will be Governor General Rufus Alberea, who has already proven himself instrumental in overseeing the military command center.
I am Rufus Alberea, interim representative during this period of martial law. We are still in the process of investigating the events that occurred at Valflame Palace. However, we have identified the weapon that was used. It was a handgun manufactured in the Republic of Calvard. It was a Verne Company make. It was made of a material that allowed it to pass through metal detectors without being discovered. Further, it has come to light that in the past few days, nearly 100 Calvardian spies had infiltrated Heimdall.
I am Gileath Osborne, Chancellor of the Empire of Erebonian. It pains me beyond description that we can do nothing more for His Majesty than simply pray he pulls through. My inability to prevent this tragedy leaves me shaking with shame and regret. But I ask you, is this the time to cower in our homes? To sit and wait and worry? No, it is most emphatically not. After countless instances of military activity at our borders, our neighbor has finally become brazen enough to send spies into our capital. And now this. The message they have sent us is clear. For hundreds of years now, they have been a menace to our nation. But this is no less than a declaration of war. We can no longer ignore the threat at our eastern borders. The Republic of Calvard.
Needless to say, we would be foolish to take such a country lightly. Their size and military might are nearly equal to our own. Therefore, in order to survive, we must make a decision.
We must put aside the difference between noble and commoner, between individuals and organizations. In order to overcome this dire threat to our way of life, every citizen of Erebonia must come together as one. To enable such a feat, we will establish a new law in the coming days. It shall be known as the National Mobilization Law!
Everyone will be drafted into this war. It will be a massacre. The National Mobilization Law? What the heck is that about? It sounds pretty scary. It's political science term. We learned it in Instructor Toba's class, remember? Yes, a way by which the government can leverage absolute power over its citizens to prepare the entire country for war. It gives the government full control over people, businesses, groups, and even entire provinces. That means... Political scientists have been debating over whether or not a crisis like this would ever actually happen. Now that it has, it will be used to justify things like confiscation of property and drafting. Are you serious? An ideal environment for a dictator. But a nightmare for the people, though there are a few ways for the government to sugarcoat it so they don't even notice. So that's what they meant. The service and what lies beneath intertwining, just like His Majesty and the Chancellor said. Rean. So everything's starting to connect. Wait, then that means Ash was a convenient pawn or a prepared sacrifice? I'm getting the feeling it's the second, but how they did it or how it's all connected, what that weird mist was, I don't know, but we'll have to figure it out. Either way, it seems some giant wheels have been set in motion, the likes of which we can't even imagine. This is all simply speculation.
Emma, Gaius.
Rean, are you at camp?
We need to meet up and talk about everything that's happening, including that speech just now. Also, there are some people you need to meet.
I have no issue with it. How about you?
Very well. We'd like to know the situation ourselves. But how do we leave the camp?
Good point. I don't think the Imperial Defense Force is just gonna let us waltz out of here.
Well, we could always use the teleportation technique with Valimar. Nobody would notice we'd be gone.
Right, but we need to find an excuse so they'll let Rean out.
Oh, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Celine!
The spirit pathways. That's the only thing I can think of that will get us out of here without anybody notice.
What? Is that Class 7's...
Ah, so the familiar's here.
Shut up and follow me! Get moving already!
Follow you where?
Do you recall that old oak tree in the center of camp? I'll summon a magic circle by it that will let you travel through the spirit veins.
Basically the same thing that I said, but through magic of Emma and not using Valimar.
You can do that?
Man, this magic stuff sure is handy.
Take us with you!
You guys.
Hey, all of you. Don't try to claim this doesn't concern us. Ash is our classmate.
We're worried about Altina too, so please let us go with you.
Come to think of it, this totally falls under our special ops missions, right?
All right. Class 7, resume special ops missions.
Yes, sir! I don't care which of you tags along, let's just go already.
I need all of you to be careful.
If things get dangerous, give us a call.
If you're going to go, at least make sure you're fully prepared.
May Adios watch over you. Take care.
Round up in the trains? The final chapter, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Yeah, beautiful music. Can already hear it in the back of my head. Doubt we're gonna hear it in the game, but definitely out of it. There, that old tree. We're gonna use this to teleport? This will be my first time traveling via magic. Well, before we leave, we need to check all of our equipment. Alright, once we're ready, we'll head to the old tree. Altina and Ash left the party. And got a lot of droplets in return. Yeah, lots of different notes. So yeah. Well, like I said before, we need to do our rounds before we leave. There are people here that we can talk to. Some, well, gear we can check. Maybe get some new weapons, new equipment, items. We have plenty of money and plenty of ways to get even more if we need it. We'll do that on the next one. For now, we're gonna leave it here. Let it all simmer, taking it in, and I will have to make a decision on if I'm gonna do the little special project with the Black Records, but you'll know if I do. So, for now, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are, and if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time, cause, yeah, we're gonna learn a lot more. Don't miss out. See you then. Bye-bye.